Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with uncomfortable truths that you need to hear as a young man who is a manager or an employer in your workplace. You might be an employer running your own business. You might be a manager wherever you are. And these are uncomfortable truths, but you need to hear them because I know that when you have heard them as a manager or as an employer, you will improve, you will become better, and that will actually even sustain your business. That will improve your business. That will make you to actually make your business to grow. And your business will flourish as well. And that's the reason why we're teaching about this. I know it is uncomfortable truth, but I know that you need to hear it so that it may actually help your business to be sustained. The first thing that I want to deal with today, which is uncomfortable, of course, we know, but it's something that you need to hear as a manager or as an employer, is that the moment your top performers start going quiet in the meetings is when you should worry most. Because when your top performers start keeping quiet, it's because there's something that they are actually afraid to do or to say. It's because they are holding back to something. And you don't want your top performers to hold back. You don't want your top performers to hold and not talk when issues are not right. Because your top performers should be the people that you allow them platform to even challenge you in your approach of your leadership, challenge you in your ideas that you try to impact on. And that's the reason why I always urge our young managers that are developing, young employers as well, that you should actually value your top performers. And those top performers, you must actually have opportunity to give them platform, because top performers are creative in nature as well. These are the people that will come with ideas that will be progressive for the business and for yourself as well as a manager. And therefore, don't feel threatened by your top performers. So please make sure that you give them platform, allow them space as well to give suggestions and ideas so that they may be able to bring a success to this company and make sure that there's progress in what we do. And that's very important. Immediately they start keeping quiet in meetings, you must know there might be something wrong. And that is why a wise manager or an employer will make sure when high performers are starting to keep quiet in meetings, you'll actually follow them up. You'll sit down with them and find out what could be the problem. Don't be afraid to sit down with them, even if it means that they are going to point a finger at you for improvement. Even if they're going to give you an uncomfortable feedback, because feedback is uncomfortable, we know that. And the majority of us as managers and employers, we become very uncomfortable with the truth of feedback. But I want to urge you to understand that feedback is a gift. And when you are going to receive feedback graciously, you are going to improve yourself. You're going to become better. And you'll start to see things happening in your life. Because great or high performers are the people with great ideas, as I've said. These are people that are going to help you if you listen to them. If you allow them to speak in a platform of the meetings as well, they are going to contribute a lot. So please, when they keep quiet, don't be happy that they are quiet. Be actually challenged and find out what could be the reason why my top performers are quiet. So therefore, make sure that you are approaching them and you are finding out what could be the reason so that you sort it out much earlier on. Very, very important. Now, the other thing which is very important, and I know is a very uncomfortable truth that you may not want to hear, but you need to hear that, is that your retention problem is actually a leadership problem. Your retention problem is a leadership problem. And I must really say that as a company, if you are losing people, we have said this a bit earlier, that if you are a CEO of a company, but you're starting to see people resigning in different departments, those are type of departments that you should actually scrutinize and look at. We have said earlier that people don't resign because of jobs. People are actually resigning because of bad managers. And because they resign because of bad managers, so therefore, if it's a general company whereby you start to see a lot of people resigning, it could be that there's a leadership problem. Leadership from the top, which is maybe you as an owner, leadership from you maybe as a CEO. It could be a leadership from your managers, unit managers in the departments. And that needs to be scrutinized more closely, and so that you can be able to correct whatever misfortunes that are happening in those departments. You may be able to maybe get to know your leaders better. If they need empowerment and training as well, you might need to train them for better leadership, because sometimes it is really that the leaders don't know how to lead. It's not because they are shrewd and bad, but it's because they are not empowered to lead. So leadership is not something that we can take for granted and think that everybody should actually swim like a fish in water and be able to lead. Leadership needs to be learned. Now, if leadership needs to be learned, therefore, we definitely need to train our leaders and make sure that they become empowered and become better leaders. We cannot afford to see no retention in our company. We cannot afford to see a lot of resignations within our departments and in our company as well, and take it for granted and say, but people are going for greener pastures. And I want to emphasize that it's not clearly because of greener pastures. Majority of the people would leave because of bad leadership. And I want to urge you to understand that it could be poor leadership from yourself as an owner of the company, as an employer, or even just as a manager, wherever you are. Your leadership needs to be shaped up. And everybody else who's leading underneath you, make sure that you empower them as well. And make sure that you put them at a level where they will be able to manage properly and be able to lead the people in a better way. The other truth that is really very uncomfortable is that a company culture is not a ping-pong tables and free lunches, and it is not what your team says about you when you are not in the room. It is actually what the teams say about you when you are not around. And this is very, very important for us to look at. Because most of the time we are pampering our teams with lunches, we are pampering them with entertainment and so on. But it is very important for us to know, what do they say when we are not in the room? What do they talk about us when we are away from the room? Because this is what means a lot. And I want to emphasize that as a manager, feedback then becomes very important. And that's the reason why in any company there should be a survey, leadership survey. And a leadership survey is a platform whereby anonymously the teams and the employees are able actually to give feedback about their own manager. They're able to give feedback about the overall management style of the company, because this is very important for them to do so. Now, that kind of survey is very, very important. And I want to urge you to be able to implement that as a leader or even as an employer, wherever you are in your company. Introduce what we call leadership survey, whereby your employees are actually surveying and saying what they think about the leadership style, what they think about the specific managers that are managing them. This is very important, because if we don't really do that, we are going to have a problem of having a leadership problem that we are not able to diagnose. And we are pampering them with a lot of financial increases. We are pampering them with lunches and entertainment. But what matters a lot is what they say about us as team of management when we are not there. And that's very important that we emphasize that. And I want to urge you right now that you understand that it is very important to know what your team is saying about you in your absence, because that's something that you need to consider working on. You must consider that, correcting it. You must consider actually shaping it and making yourself a better person about that. And I want to end up here today, your host, Micornus Phokane. I hope that you have learned out of this. I'm the leader and founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are developing ordinary young men into extraordinary men of wisdom, integrity, and character. And of course, we're doing this through kingdom principles. And I want to emphasize that before we check out, we've got the social media platforms. And I believe that you're going to refer people, share these media platforms as well. The links to your loved ones, to your friends, to your colleagues at work as well. Our Facebook page is Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please click like and make sure that you follow us And our other Facebook page is my personal Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. And also there we are posting these videos, and I hope that that helps you as well. Don't forget our TikTok account as well. It's under Micornus Phokane, and we see that TikTok account being viewed so much, and we see people being comfortable with that platform as well. So please share that through WhatsApp platforms, share that through emails. Make sure that you share it to your loved ones as well. And good Lord will bless you. Don't forget our YouTube channel as well. It is under Young Men Empowerment Forum. There you can subscribe and make sure that you click notification button as well. Make sure that you share our YouTube channel with other people as well, because they need to hear that which we teach about right now in these platforms. May the good Lord bless you. I want to check out right here till we meet again with part 3 of this great topic. May the good Lord bless you and allow me to say cheers for now.